Good morning, everyone. My name is Chiranjeevi. I'm the reasoning faculty. So this is my first video. From today onwards, I want to share my subject to the viewers, especially those who are looking for bank jobs. Okay, come to today's session. So reasoning is one of the major concept in bank examination, in prelims and mains. So this plays a vital role. Yeah. So bank examination, we have n number of banks notifications through IBPS. So as per IBPS norms, how the reasoning paper is going to be set. Today I want to share this subject to you. Okay, come to the session. The entire reasoning is of 3 parts. The entire reasoning is of 3 parts. So listen carefully guys, this is very important. Without this, we can't go for exams because the student must and should know how the paper is going to be set, especially in reasoning session through IBPS, right? So the entire reasoning concept is of 3 types. One is verbal reasoning, second one is analytical one, and third one is logical reasoning. So verbal reasoning, analytical and logical. Okay. So in bank examination, we have 2 stages of filters. One is prelims, second one is mains, and then followed by personal interview or JD in some kind of examination, that is secondary thing. So we have to complete first the written examinations. So these written examination is of 2 stages. One is prelims, second one is mains. Okay. Come to the prelims. In preliminary examination, in any bank, SBI, IBPS General or IBPS Regional Rural Banks or individual banks, any banks, the preliminary examination has a weightage of 100 marks. In that, total 35 questions is taken from reasoning and 35 questions taken from arithmetic or quant, and rest of the 30 questions is taken from your general English. So come to the reasoning session. Here we have 35 questions. Total 35 questions, and the freezing time is 20 minutes. So within the 20 minutes only you have to complete all 35 questions. So most of the students feels, so the time is very lesser, 20 minutes. Is it possible to complete all 35 questions within 20 minutes in the sense? Yes. So definitely we can. So 20 minutes is very max guys. So 20 minutes is a huge time. So probably it takes hardly 18 minutes is enough. So I am giving this much of assurance to you. So listen carefully. This is my first video. I will explain in detail each and every concepts, how much time we required for each session. So in reasoning we have 35 questions and 20 minutes is the freezing time. I promise you 18 minutes is enough. You guys can complete all 35 questions within 18 minutes. Okay, come to the each and every sessions. So verbal reasoning, especially preliminary questions is taken from your verbal and analytical only. Your 35 questions is taken from your verbal and analytical, and whereas mains, logical reasoning will be added. That's it. Along with logical reasoning will also be added. But whereas in preliminary examinations, we have only the questions taken from verbal and analytical only. Come to the verbal sessions. And these 35 questions is of again 2 parts and 20 questions taken from your verbal and rest of the 15 questions taken from your analytical. Okay. So verbal one. In verbal concepts, the first easiest one, the bulk questions is taken from your inequalities. Very easiest concept guys. In inequalities they generally ask 5 questions and 5 marks. Each question carries 1 mark and 5 questions. So these 5 questions we can complete with less than 60 seconds only. So I am talking about 5 questions, not a single questions. So these 5 questions required only 60 seconds is enough. So without using your pen and paper, without using this pen and paper, by seeing itself we can bubble the answers. So this inequalities concepts. So in later session I will explain in detail, very clear, and these concepts I need just 10 minutes, just 10 minutes. Okay, next one, coding decoding. So this is also one of the major concept, major topic in reasoning session. Without this there is no any paper at all, guys. In coding decoding, generally they go for 8 to 10 questions. Generally they go for 8 to 10 questions. So these 8 or 10 questions we required only just 3 minutes, or sometimes we required 4 minutes. That's it. Only 3 to 4 minutes is enough to complete all these 8 or 10 questions in coding decoding concept. And third one is, it's also very easiest concept, guys, syllogism. So generally they go for 5 questions, and these 5 questions we can complete 60 seconds. 5 questions, just 60 seconds is enough. 60 seconds is enough to syllogism. And next, fourth one, like some miscellaneous concepts are there, like your blood relation, directions, ranking or order based questions. So these are all miscellaneous concepts, guys. So in blood relation they go for 3 questions sometimes, in direction they go for 2 or 3 questions in sometimes, so they go for 2 or 3 questions sometimes, and ranking this carries only 1 marks, and whereas the order based questions sometimes you go for 2 or 3 questions. So these 3 sessions are miscellaneous concepts, like your blood relations, directions, rankings. So generally they go for individual ways, or sometimes he may ask in data sufficiency concepts also. So these are also very jujube concept, very easiest concept, like pani puri concept, right? Just you can sub like this, pani puri concepts. Okay. So blood relations, we need just 1 minute 30 seconds is enough, and directions also 1 minute 30 seconds is enough. And whereas order based questions or ranking, 1 minute is enough, 1 minute. So these are all very easy concept, guys. And next one, output tracking method or input output. So this carries 5 questions, and these 5 questions we need to complete less than 3 minutes. So less than 3 minutes is enough. So this particular session, like input output or output tracking method, generally they asked in mains examination. Sometimes you may go for preliminary examination also. Okay. So just one more time, inequalities 5 marks, coding decoding 8 to 10 questions, and syllogism 5 questions, blood relations 3 questions, and directions 2 or 3 questions, ranking or order based one, it carries 2 or 3 questions sometimes, and input output or output tracking method, so this is 5 questions. That's it. So verbal reasoning, we have only these concepts, guys. Next one, analytical. In analytical we have only 2 major concepts. One is seating arrangement, second one is puzzles. That's it. So in seating arrangement and puzzle, these 2 sessions carries generally 15 questions. So these 15 questions we can complete less than 10 minutes. Yes, less than 10 minutes is enough. It's max time, guys. I will explain later in my videos. So just see your time management in bank examination. Time management, speed and accuracy, these 3 pillars plays a vital role. So if a person get a job in banks, in the sense he has to follow some rules. One is speed, second one is accuracy, and third one is time management. How much time required for each concepts? So you have to know that, right? So just make a quick glance, quick view about the entire verbal and analytical. Inequalities 5 questions. Coding decoding, just you think about 8 questions, and syllogism 5 questions, and like 5 plus 5 10 8 18, and rest of the questions 2 questions is taken from these miscellaneous concepts. Total 20 questions. Total 20 questions taken from verbal. And just to see your time, guys, so here 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, and 6 and 7. So just 8 minutes to enough to complete all these 20 questions. 8 minutes. Just we need 8 minutes to complete all these 20 questions, guys. So in this verbal reasoning, most of the sessions, most of the concepts, without using your pen and paper, like by saying itself, you can bubble the answer like inequalities or coding decoding some concepts also, like blood relations, directions, right, ranking and order based questions. Without using your pen and paper, you can bubble the answer. So 8 minutes to enough to complete all these 20 questions. Next, come to the analytical. So here we have 15 questions left over, and the time is 12 minutes is left, and these 15 questions we have to complete less than 10 minutes. Sometimes he may ask 10 questions in setting arrangement, sometimes he may ask 10 questions in puzzles, and sometimes he may ask 5 questions in setting arrangement, and sometimes puzzles 5 questions. So that's why I have to mingle up these 2 questions as a 15. Sometimes he may go for 20 questions also. Okay. So this is your preliminary examination. It is very easy. So banking job is very like what? Most of the students, they feel it is very difficult, but it's not at all difficult, guys. It's very easy one. So hardly 3 months is enough. 3 months is enough. So this is your preliminary view. Next, come to the mains view. And we have some additional logical reasoning. This is very important one. In mains examination, in logical session carries 10 questions. 10 questions. Just see the logical concepts. Statement and assumptions. Statement and arguments. Statement and courses of actions. Cause and effect, and some statements and conclusions. Sometimes he may ask eligibility test. So this is your logical reason, this is your verbal, and this one is analytical. So from today onwards, I make n number of videos regarding entire reasoning session. I promise you guys, I will explain each and every session in clear, in detail, and in later session I will give my WhatsApp number also. So anyone who have some doubts in reasoning, you can post that questions in my videos. I will explain in later sessions. So thank you so much. Right.